To celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Bit Squad, we are going to be giving away $1,000 in Bitcoin for the months of March and April, along with 2 Nano Ledger S's. An extra $100 prize will be available for those who join the Telegram group. Like and comment on every video in March and April for the maximum number of entries. You must be a subscriber to win. Hey Bit Squad, just a reminder, I do have my 2019 NCAA Tournament Bracket Challenge going on. Make sure that you join that. It's going to be the top link in the video description. So, okay guys, today we're going to be looking at some interesting news coming from Twitter and Jack, who has been in the news quite a bit regarding crypto and other things as well lately. We also are going to be looking at Basic Attention Token and the Brave browser and some high praise for it. We're going to be looking at some regular FUD from some banks. We're going to be looking at XRP versus Stellar and what they're both trying to do with cross-border settlements. And also, we're going to be looking at some rumors that I think are circulating regarding Mt. Gox that I just don't think are true. They're basically saying that the market is going to dump soon due to Mt. Gox. So we're going to address that coming up. But let's get into the markets. Market Watch. All right, guys, still going up. 141.6 billion for the market cap. Bitcoin dominance holding steady at 50.8%. Bitcoin coming in at $4,086. It is in green. Hopefully, maybe we'll push up over 4,100, maybe even by the time the video is published. We got Ethereum at $140. And I've been telling you guys, Cardano is catching up to Tron. It's been on its heels. And now we're looking at less than a $1.5 or less than $150 million difference. And I do think Cardano's got a good shot to catch Tron pretty soon. I ultimately think Tron and Cardano will both be top 10 projects. But okay, guys, let's look at the top gainers of the day. We have GX Chain, Ravencoin, Ontology, IOST, and KuCoin shares. Which, hey, IOST, I know that project. Okay, guys, we got Repo, Inside Chain, AVBC Coin, Crypto.com Chain, and Digitex Futures, are the biggest losers of the day. You know, it's refreshing to see every day we're having coins with double-digit pumps. It's been a long time since we've seen that happening. So, you know, it does feel like the market is getting healthier. There's a lot of bullish news coming out, and the sentiment really seems to be changing. So, hopefully, you know, we've seen the worst of it already, but, you know, really it's anyone's guess what's actually going to happen from here. Number 5. Number 5 story, we have Bitcoin is not money because we cannot print it. Signed, banks. So it says Bitcoin is not money was something that came out as a public statement from the European Central Bank regarding Bitcoin as a monetary asset. Now, what was the reason why they said that it is not money? Well, it's because it's seen as not being tangible. You can't put your hands on it. There's not paper. You can't print it. You can't produce it in a coin, right? Well, you can, but only maybe we've seen some like tangible Bitcoins that are wallets. I don't know if you guys have seen those. But anyways, you know, you can't print this on demand like we see at the US Mint and all these other mints around the world and all these banks and things like that. So my thing is this. This is an argument I hear all the time from people, even when I'm just talking to people about cryptocurrency. It's not tangible. You can't put your hands on it. I'm just like, yeah, you can't put your hands on the money you're spending on your credit card. Like, yes, the card itself, you can put your hands on, but the money and the ledger that that card is linked to is absolutely not something you can put your hands on. You know, the banks don't even really have all that money, but that's another story. So, you know, we just continue to see FUD coming from banks as they're trying to tear down Bitcoin. I think they're really starting to see it as a threat, and I think they should. Number 4. Okay, so we have the co-founder of Wikipedia coming out and saying to stop using Chrome and start using Brave, which at this point, it seems like, man, that would be really crazy to stop using Chrome. But I remember when everybody used Firefox, and then what happened? Chrome came out. Everybody started using Chrome. I remember when Internet Explorer was the go-to browser of choice before Firefox got popular. So, you know, could this actually happen in the future? Could the Brave browser, of course, ran with the Basic Attention Token, be something that takes over and becomes a primary browser? Well, I think it's going to at least be in the conversation. But what the co-founder said, his name is Larry Sanger, He's a good singer, I heard. But he said basically that due to security issues and the fear of monopolization on the internet, the Brave browser is really good, and it kind of fights against that. And not only that, but you can earn basic attention tokens just for using it. So if you have not downloaded the Brave browser yet, I do have a link down below. If you look in my video description, you may have to dig around for it. But if you download it from that link, you support the channel, and you have a chance to get some basic attention tokens. I get payments every month from Brave browser. For people that download, people that tip, I haven't been using the ads program yet, but that is available if you would like to watch ads and earn basic attention tokens. Hey, it's free and it's easy. Number 3. Okay, so we got this story here. It's something that I've been kind of wanting to talk about for a couple days. So IBM follows Ripple and joins $2 trillion cross-border payment game with Stellar-powered World Wire. So basically, IBM and Stellar have a partnership, and they're working on something called World Wire. This is supposed to be similar to XRP, which is what XRP uses, or what Ripple uses and runs XRP on it, to settle cross-border transactions. Now, is Stellar a threat to Ripple in this world? A lot of people that are fans of Stellar would like to say, yeah, we're going to get them, we're going to get Ripple. And people that hate Ripple are like, yeah, let's destroy it. But the truth is that's not actually the case right now. So XRP and XRapid have a giant head start, first of all, right? Like Stellar's way behind. XRapid has been launched for several months, and people have been using it. They're just now at the beginning of this for WorldWire. Now, this is going to be really good for, I think, adoption and having a legitimacy coming from IBM that's partnered with them in this. But, you know, really the truth is that Stellar and Ripple are not the true competitors. Both of them are trying to use crypto and blockchain in order to settle these transactions. Really, their competitor is Swift. So that's what they're trying to replace, is Swift codes, international money transfers, and things like that. So in this, yes, they will be competitors in the same way that I guess like maybe Coke and Pepsi are competitors. Like, yeah, one, or they try to be the best, you know, they want to be the #1 soda company, right? However, like they both make soda, you know? So, you know, when you've got the World Health Organization coming out and saying soda is bad, then that's bad for both of them. It's not just bad for one. And so this is kind of the same thing. You can kind of look at it in that similar way. Now, it's very important to know what is the difference between the World Wire and XRP's XRapid. Well, World Wire is going to be able to allow the settlements in Bitcoin, XRP, Stellar Lumens, any number of different cryptocurrencies, right? Whereas XRP is only going to be settled, or XRapid is only going to be settled in XRP. So that's a little bit about the differences, why they're not really truly competitors, but as you see, there's a $2 trillion industry. There's really room for both of them. Number 2. Okay, so we have Jack Dorsey again talking about Bitcoin, but he takes it further. I've been telling people that crypto Twitter is not a real place, but here he hashtagged it. Crypto Twitter is a real place, guys. It's official. So, all right, we have this tweet. Bitcoin Twitter and crypto Twitter. Square is hiring 3 to 4 crypto engineers and 1 designer to work full-time on open source contributions to the Bitcoin/crypto ecosystem. Work from anywhere, report directly to me, and we can even pay you in Bitcoin. Introducing @Square Crypto. Why? And then he goes on to explain it. Now, here's the thing. What is very important to me about this tweet is it is an obvious attempt from Jack Dorsey to bring crypto Twitter into the mix. Because if you don't know, Bitcoin Twitter is like for maximalists, and that's who he's been talking to recently. That's who he mentioned on the Joe Rogan show. And now he's saying, hey, crypto Twitter, come on in. And not only that, but then he does it again. He says Bitcoin/crypto ecosystem. So for a maximalist, this is kind of uncommon language. So this to me says maybe there's something that Jack is rethinking about the future of crypto. And you know, this is something I've talked about a lot. I don't feel like it's good to be a maximalist in anything. I don't think it's good to be an Ethereum maximalist. I don't think it's good to be a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't think it's good to be an altcoin maximalist. Like, you just got to understand, we're so new in all this technology that we don't know where this is going to go yet. And so to be so arrogant and say, I know the one coin that's going to work and is going to rule them all. Like, that's, to me, that's ignorant and that's naive. Like, you can't possibly know that at this point. 10 years from now, we can look back and reflect, and you can say like, oh, see, I told you. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, I guess you were right. But for every person that's going to be right, there's going to be 100 people that's wrong. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. But I think this is big news. Jack starting to get into crypto Twitter. Let's see maybe if he'll engage with some people in Twitter. That would be really fun to see. But yeah, if you are a crypto engineer, you should hit him up. The #1 crypto story of the day. Okay, so the story that just won't go away. So, well, let me start with this. I received an email this morning saying that my application for my Mt. Gox returns that I was getting from the lawsuit, it was approved, that I'm going to get the money back that I had in the account at the time, what it was worth at the time. I'm going to get that back. And so I just kind of take these things with a grain of salt because, you know, I know this is a long process. But recently, with those emails that went out today, a lot of people have been talking about that an impending dump by Mt. Gox is coming soon because basically, like, they have to sell all their Bitcoin to get the cash to pay people because I believe they're paying people with cash and not with Bitcoin. However, this is not actually the case. Just because we got that email today saying that our payments are approved and we will be getting them, that does not mean that we are anywhere close. There is a lawsuit going on right now between Mt. Gox and I believe Coin Labs, and until that's straightened out, it's unlikely any of that money is going to be able to get paid out. Now, it's right now they have a rehabilitation balance of $623 million to make these payouts. Now, keep in mind the Bitcoin that was lost on Mt. Gox would have been in the billions. So $623 million isn't going to be enough to cover, but you know, like I said, I believe, and I've gotten mixed signals on this because I believe they're paying back what your money was worth at the time. So if you had one Bitcoin, they're not going to pay you $4,000. They're not going to pay you $4,100. They're going to tell you or give you what it was worth at the time, which was probably somewhere around $200. I can't remember the exact amount. So April 26th is a very important date for these proceedings. That is when Mt. Gox is going to have to give a timeline and a plan on how they're going to redistribute the money. Now, are they going to have to sell off their Bitcoin? They have about 141,000 and about 50,000 Bitcoin cash. We don't know if they're going to make those payments with crypto or if they're going to make it in cash. I don't think that's been decided. I think that's going to be part of the proceedings in the plan they're going to have to give. So at that point, we should be able to get a handle on what the future is going to look like for Mt. Gox. Now, the best thing would be is if they would pay back the amount in crypto, right? So if your Bitcoin was worth $200 at the time and they want to send you $200, they will send you the equivalent of today's price of Bitcoin. Now, of course, in a fantasy world, right, they'd be able to pay it all back, but they can't. So I think, honestly, we're just lucky to be getting anything back from this whole debacle. Now, we were very unlucky with what happened when Mt. Gox crashed. But if they do it that way, that's going to prevent the market from being flooded with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, because if they repay with cash, then that is what is going to have to happen, or US dollars or the equivalent. So, you know, here's the thing. This is something that is going to be ongoing. We're going to have to keep monitoring. The healthier the market is, the less this is going to affect it. But this is definitely something we got to keep our eye on to see, because that's a big stash of Bitcoin, 141,000. So they've already liquidated about $230 million worth, but they have about $400 million worth left. So definitely something to watch, but I wouldn't let this affect any investment decisions I'm making in the short term, especially since we're not even going to get any idea of what it's going to be until April 26th. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Drop a like on it. Don't forget to join my NCAA tournament challenge. BitBoy out.